From the station that made country music famous, 650 AM WSM, this is a Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Hi, it's Charlie Matos, and in this episode, we sit down with longtime friend Mandy Barnett. She's been a frequent guest with us throughout the years. She would be channeling some Kris Kristofferson on her new single, Help Me Make It Through the Night. She would also share some memories of the late, great Jimmy Capps, longtime member of the Grand Ole Opry House Band and a member of the Musicians Hall of Fame, who passed away at the age of 81. And Mandy has some great memories of Jimmy Capps. Enjoy our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast with Mandy Barnett.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Don't tell me she didn't do the Brazilian blowout just before coming live on Coffee, Country, and Cody and the Buzz Zoom interview. Mandy Barnett, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Mandy is the only one who's been honest to say, all that's got to look good is from the neck up. That's the great thing about these interviews, doing these Zoom interviews, and I think you are very, very right in saying that. Hey, before we get into music, I want you to remember somebody who is near and dear to you, and I'm all dressed up this morning because I'm going to the Opry House at 1 o'clock today to say goodbye to Jimmy Capps, who since 1967, you're up there on stage, you turn, you look over your left shoulder, and there is Mr. Rock Solid Jimmy Capps. Your thoughts?
That's a good way to describe Jimmy Capps. He was solid as a rock and could accompany you in a way. It's like it felt like his accompanying just almost fit you like a glove. He could anticipate your phrasing. His timing was impeccable. He played the most just beautiful, beautiful things behind you. And he was just such a wonderful man. I really hate that this has happened. Going to miss him so much.
And again, today at 1 o'clock, you can stream that service at WSMOnline.com. When you go to our website, you can just click on Jimmy's picture, and it will link you to the service. Again, that starts at 1 from the Opry House.
Amanda, you've been backstage rehearsing many, many times at the Opry. The one thing that if folks have never had that experience, what they don't get is Jimmy and that entire Opry band can make a song theirs that maybe they'd never heard before in about 5 minutes. And it's like they've played it their whole life.
Yeah. I mean, you can basically do anything you want. Send in a new song or bring a chart, or they'll write a chart really quick. And, I've known Jimmy since I was 12 years old. When I first started recording, he was on my earlier sessions. So we go way, way back, and I'm going to miss him as a musician, but I'm also going to miss him just as a good friend.
Who did you know first, Harold Bradley or Jimmy Capps?
Jimmy.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. Knew Jimmy first. And, of course, Tony Migliore, who's been in my band for years, Jimmy and Tony, they were on those early sessions. But yeah, and then, Jimmy just throughout my career we would do demos and different things like that. But, of course, when I started playing the Opry, became good friends because I was around him a lot more than that. And of course, me and him and Michelle have always been good friends over the last 20 or so years.
Mandy Barnett, if you just joined us, and whether she's recording music, a tribute to Patsy Cline or to Don Gibson or the Nashville Songbook, which included everything from some of the aforementioned to Brenda Lee and Tammy Wynette and Eddie Arnold and Roy Orbison, to when did you do End of the World? How long ago has it been since? Because this is the anniversary week. I want to say I just read in the last few days of Skeeter's original recording of End of the World. Maybe it was the last part of last week.
Well, I recorded it last year. I was in the studio doing an orchestrated album of pop songs, which is what led to doing this album, A Nashville Songbook. We were just going to do The End of the World and release it as a single, and then decided to do a whole album of songs celebrating Nashville and Music City and its great contribution to popular music.
And now you've worked your way to Kris Kristofferson's catalog as a part of these releases.
Yeah. Help Me Make It Through the Night. It's the 50th anniversary of that song this year as well. That wasn't planned. It's just a great song.
Oh, really? And this has an orchestral arrangement to it as well, right? So this must have come out of what you were doing earlier that you referenced.
Well, it's not a full orchestra. The End of the World was a full orchestra. It's the Christofferson song is pretty sparse. It's mainly acoustic guitar, bass with a piano solo, and then some strings just for color.
Let's listen all over the world at 650 AM WSM, WSMonline.com, our app download. And you're watching all over the country this morning on Circle Television. Find out more. It's the home of the Opry. You'll be able to see last weekend's show tomorrow night with Steve Wariner, Carly Pearce, Lee Brice, Michael Ray. Right now, it's Mandy Barnett with Help Me Make It Through the Night.
Take the ribbon from my hair, shake it loose and let it fall, lay it soft upon my skin.
Mandy Barnett's version of Help Me Make It Through the Night is available wherever you buy or download music, and you can find out more at mandybarnett.com. Did you ever know Sammy Smith? Did your paths ever cross when you were a young girl starting out doing Patsy Cline here in town?
No, never got to meet her. I do know her son, Waylon Payne, very well. We've been friends for many, many years, and he's great, such a talent and a character. We were actually in a movie together about Hank Garland. He played Hank Garland, and I played Patsy Cline. My only movie, but it was fun.
That is a great performance. That world-class voice that belongs to Mandy Barnett on it. Help Me Make It Through the Night.
Mandy, do you still live on that house way up on the hill, and do you still teach voice lessons to young, aspiring?
How did you know about that? Were you a student?
I was.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I looked you up when I first moved to town, and I just thought, I was like, oh my gosh, in Nashville, you can have access to like really big people so easily. I can't believe I get to take voice from this girl.
Well, I was an associate teacher for Renee Grant Williams, and I lived on top of this hill, and I'm telling you what, I was 19 years old when I bought that house.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
Only a 19-year-old would look at this property and think, wow, this is a great investment. It was on top of a ridge. It had a concrete driveway just going straight up like this, and not just for a little while. I mean, forever. I remember one of my students actually wet her pants when she got to the top of the hill. It was so scary. And it was next to a gun club. And I live there. Yeah, they're out there shooting. I'm trying to give voice lessons, and they're out there just pow, 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 pow. So I lived there 12 years.
Oh, wow.
I lived there 12 years and gave voice lessons. So, periodically I'll give one, but not like I was back then. But I hope you learned something.
I did, and I loved every minute of it.
What mistake with about a minute left here, what mistake do most singers make when they first get to town? They've been a big deal in their hometown. Now they're in a big city where everybody can sing. What is it they do? Oversing?
Yeah, probably. I think everyone, when they're young, oversings. I think sometimes it just takes... And I've done it. I've gotten into all kinds of weird habits, back phrasing too much. I think you just have to kind of find your voice, find out what works, go back and listen to stuff and think, well, that doesn't sound right, and then correct it.
That's Mandy Barnett. Thank you for joining us this morning, getting up early and being a part of Coffee Country and Cody. And thank you for this incredible performance of Help Me Make It Through the Night in its 50th anniversary year.
Thank you for playing it. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon at the Grand Ole Opry. We got to get you back out there and get back to business. What do you think, girl?
That would be wonderful.
And thanks for your memories of Jimmy Capps, to whom we will say goodbye today with a celebration of life. And, of course, our thoughts are with Michelle and his family. And that's at WSMonline.com from the Opry House at 1 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Our program director at WSM Radio is J. Patrick Tittle. Our digital producer is Haley Hall. Marketing and promotions director is Amanda Cannon. And I'm Charlie Matos. If you like what you've heard, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And leave us a review on iTunes. It really does help new people find the show.